feel like a lot of you guys don't know that behind the scenes, I work as a blue-collar individual. I do some drywall action. Actually, if you've been watching my videos, I mentioned it very so slightly in a video a couple videos ago. I had my drywall beanie on because my hair was all crazy, so there's some dirtiness all up on that. But I was thinking of a video idea, and I was like, man, I never really talk about what I listen to at work as a drywall installer. So that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. But before I get into the video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. That would help me out a bunch. And hit the bell notification. You will get notified whenever I post a video. And yeah, don't forget to watch my videos, please. So yeah, I have my handy dandy headphones on while doing some drywall action. And you might be asking, aren't you supposed to be very aware and hearing your partners in action to give you measurements and stuff? I'm still learning the job, and I work with my dad and my uncle, so they pretty much do like the heavy working, like doing the ceilings, doing the walls. Sometimes I help out with putting some drywall on the walls, upper walls, but my main job is drilling the whole house with these screws and then putting some nails. You know how it is. I also wrap the windows with drywall too, so there's a lot that goes into it. But what do I listen to? Man, it's kind of crazy because when I first started working with my dad, I really just listened to music the whole time. I didn't really bother with podcasts or anything like that because I was too amped up. I wanted some energy, wanted to just, 100 miles an hour, finish the whole thing real fast. And like any type of thing, music does help out whenever you have a banger on, and it just gives you this energy, whether it be some wicked riffage or just epic screaming. It always helps out people with the gym, helps me out working drywall. But lately, I've been way more into just podcasts and chilling out and just still being fast and efficient, but not taking my time as well. I'm actually really speedy with it nowadays. The podcasts that I do listen to aren't even music based, which is kind of not crazy, but I always talk about music. I'm known as a guy who just talks about music. That's my content, but I never really listened to music podcast all the time. Recently though, I have been listening to the Hard Lore podcast, and I just found that. I don't know how, and there's a lot of content that I missed out on and I'm catching up on, and it's just the most fun time ever. I'm a big sports guy, which is kind of annoying sometimes because I feel like I wish I was more just music only, nothing else really matters to me, but I'm not. I'm really into sports, and sometimes it sucks because I don't know, it's just like, why do I have energy in teams and my day's ruined after watching my team lose? I don't get it. I'm gonna make it quick though because this is a music channel and I still listen to music at work, so you kind of want to hear the music, but I'll just mention the podcast really quick. And I watched the Stay Hot podcast, which awesome podcast, talk about sports. They're around my age, so I kind of gravitate towards them and I understand their references and all this just camaraderie, and I love it. They're great. I also listen to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco Nightcap. Love Shannon Sharp. That dude's a freaking legend. I've always loved listening to Undisputed, but then, they broke up, whatever. Funny AF podcast. I learned a lot of my lessons in life from that podcast. Hate to admit it, but it's true. Actually, I don't hate to admit it. It is what it is. And I listen to a bunch of wrestling podcasts because I am a wrestling fan. I feel like there's just so much you guys don't know about me. I've been thinking of making a wrestling channel on YouTube and just talking about a bunch of stuff. And I don't know. I'm like on the fence, but maybe one of these days I'll push more content with the wrestling stuff, so I don't know, maybe look out for that. So here's all the music that I listen to at work, at least recently, and this music does help me out, makes me feel a lot more efficient, and just soothes me down, Recently, I've been listening to the band Teeth, a slowcore band, which I've talked about a lot, and that might seem kind of weird in the moment because while I'm working, I use a drill, and it's like a power drill or whatever it's called, I don't even know, and it makes the loudest noise ever. So whenever slowcore meets my humongous drill noise, it's like not the smartest strategy, but it still works for me, and my headphones aren't that loud, but I still put it to the max, and it works for me. You guys saw that I posted, or hopefully you guys saw that I posted a album review of the band Glitterer and their new album Rationale, and that is what I've been listening to a bunch recently, and I'm really a big fan of that album. Love the sound. It's so powerful and soothing at the same time. Love the lyrics. It just goes so well with hammering nails and drilling nails, man. And Sonic Youth. Been on a big Sonic Youth listening spree, and especially my favorite album and their best album, Evil, Backwards Love, whatever you want to call it. That whole album just feels like a movie whenever I listen to it. There's so many just mysterious moments and foggy-like lyrics, and the instrumentation on there is just a beautiful sight and a beautiful thing to hear. Usually at work, it's kind of chill, and I go at my own pace. It's really how much we do is how we get paid, and lately we've been having to rush a little bit, so I've been going like so I need that music that'll pump me up. So I've been listening to some rap, and especially Ken Carson. And a lot of people don't know I talked about Ken Carson on this YouTube channel, one of my earlier videos, and you guys know I like talking about rap, and I'm not so aware with the new scene and all this stuff. I kind of lost my sauce and stuff once I got into all the underground bands that are coming up right now. But out of this new era and the new batch of talent, Ken Carson has just like a huge sound that I finally gravitated towards, because I do hear some rap on like TikTok, the usual trending sounds, and nothing really resonated with me until I heard Ken Carson. I was just like, damn, bruh, this dude is stepping up. This dude is going crazy. And most of the time, this new wave of rappers is just boring, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of the repetitive thing, and just, I don't know. There's not really much creativity, but with his beat selection and all this new music that he pumps out, I'm just like, man, thank you, a breath of fresh air. Sticking on that rapper wave though, I do dive into Lil Peep and Lil Tracy, but my favorite, or one of my favorite projects from Lil Peep is his mixtape he did with Boy Fruit, I think is his name, on SoundCloud. They had this mixtape, I believe it was called Mall Music. I'll put a picture up. I'm probably wrong in some way, but so underrated. The chemistry between the two is just something not a lot of people talk about, and I feel like deserves a lot of love. I remember listening to that mixtape a lot during high school and just going through the halls and just like, that's what I've been listening to lately in terms of rap. And yeah, man, I've been reminiscing just that rap era that I lived through in high school, and there was just so many great rappers coming up, different sounds. It was just so different. Miss it. One of the first shows I ever went to was a Lil Tracy show in San Francisco in 2019, and the energy at that show was just incredible. I loved every moment. It felt like this community was just gathered around, and it was freaking amazing, man. I'm also always, and I mean always, listening to Hum whenever I can at work, whenever possible, which is literally every time I go to work. You could pick any album from Hum, and I just don't get bored, man. That band is so special. I love that band. That's my band. I mentioned how I was listening to Teeth, and they're a slowcore band, and I've been more into the slower paced tunes whenever I'm working. I feel like it just gives me that great boost in terms of my brain capacity. The chemicals and spiritual miracles are just being formed within there, and I've been listening to Aphex Twin and ambient lo-fi stuff going on in there, and love it. I'm trying to think of funny Drywall stories, but I can't really think of anything really. I mean, I work today and I'm exhausted. My back hurts incredibly, but that just comes with the territory, and it's a hard-working job, wears down the body, and yeah, man, it's tough out here. One of these days, YouTube will be my job forever. I don't know, I'm kind of hoping, but lately I've just been not posting enough, so, I gotta keep on going, gotta continue that grind, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna end this episode on. Actually, I mean, My dad and uncle always have a big ass radio, so whenever that radio is near the civilization, there's just humongous tunes being played by them, and it's always the same songs on Mexican radio, bro. I swear I hear the same 5 songs throughout the whole day. I don't understand. They need to find some underground Spanish tunes, Mexican tunes. It's just like, okay, I get it. I think I know every word in this song. Can we, like, skip it maybe? But you can't do that with radio. I guess you can't do that with radio, but yeah. That wraps up this video. That's pretty much what I listen to at my blue collar drywall working job. I thought it would be a fun, cute little video, random idea that popped in my head, and yeah. Please like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Drywall will make you cry.